Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's me, Logan Sama, here for the reversal roundup. And as you can see, I'm coming to you live from UFA, which happened this past weekend, but I'm here right now. It's a time vortex. There's been some incredible tournament action. So let's kick it off with UFA in Paris. Returning after hiatus from 2019, UFA was back in Paris and even bigger than before. Dragon Ball FighterZ was the main event of the weekend on the fighting game side, and after a year absolutely dominated by French players, UFA was of course an event everyone was looking forward to. With Wawa tweeting that he doesn't play Dragon Ball FighterZ anymore, transitioning towards Smash, and Goichi in attendance, this weekend was time for a new king and everyone was gunning for that title. With the pre-tournament favourite Yasha losing to Zayn and Goichi, there was a spotlight to grab in a very surprising top 4 with only one French player. Obi Assassin's valiant efforts were stopped by one of the best combats in Dragon Ball FighterZ history from Wade.
Oh! Wade! What an incredible comeback! I cannot believe the comeback he just made! The entire crowd is popping off!
Going from what looked like a certain defeat 2-0 down with a last debuffed character and managing to turn it round for a miraculous 3-2 win. And even with all the momentum in the world and a bracket reset, Wade couldn't complete the run, as Zayn, the lone American representative in top 8, takes a very impressive win.
Beerus goes low and Zayn is going to close it out and take UFA!
Is America back? Find out on the next episode of Dragon Ball FighterZ. Guilty Gear delivered a tournament full of surprises and upsets, from breakout performances like Togata reaching top 8 in his very first offline major, to the clear favourite Skill DQing himself in top 16, top 8 seemed like it was promised to one player, UK's Tiger Pop. With the grand finals opposing two players travelling for the very first time abroad, Smoib and Tiger Pop, the crowd had a very clear favourite in Smoib and his Gold Lewis. Unfortunately, after all the hype moments that he delivered, Tiger Pop proved to be a level above and took a well-deserved UFA win. UFA had a dizzying 4 Tekken tournaments played, a 3v3 on Friday as the exhibition, the main UFA tournament, the Tekken France Championship Finals and the EU West Regional Finals, with 2 spots up for grabs to qualify for TWT Finals later in the year. The main event saw Dombili, 70-year-old German player, reach an incredible 3rd place for his first ever major, even sending Ulsan into losers.
Oh! Ah, don't believe my butt! It's gonna put Ulsan into the loser bracket here!
In grand finals, Cuddlecore was waiting on winner's side, but Ulsan managed to reset the bracket and then win convincingly to take the title.
Once again. And that's gonna be it! Ulsan is gonna take UFA 2022!
On the Tekken France Championship side, Super Akuma took the title after a dominant season, but unfortunately for him, he couldn't make it through in the EU Regional Finals, despite being the global highest amount of points in the Tekken World Tour leaderboard. A harsh loss in pools saw the dream of a Tekken World Tour Finals slip away. And that dream landed in the UK as favourite Joker delivered and grabbed his spot, followed by none other than K-Wiss.
And there it is! K-Wiss is gonna be your champion!
How many times have we seen an active commentator qualify for a World Finals?
Shit like that.
In Street Fighter V, top seeds Punk and Mr. Crimson were in prime position on winners' sides, but they were both sent to losers early on. Valmaster's incredible losers run saw him eliminate some of the strongest players in the world, including Punk, to get his spot in Grand Finals. But the home Parisian crowd were destined to be disappointed because there was another threat going into this tournament. Coming off an incredible online win streak that was only ended this week in Salt Mine League, Ending Walker has taken all 5 of the World Warrior UK and Ireland events and won 9 Salt Mine League EU events back to back, beating some of the strongest players in the region. And having already shown that he was able to do it Offline at Versus Fighting, he was back again, putting incredible results on the board. First off, defeating Mr. Crimson 3-1 in winners finals in an incredible display. And then going one further and beating Punk in winners final 3-0. When he did face Valmaster in grand finals, it was almost a foregone conclusion. And whilst he might look humble and unassuming on stage, the confidence was there to see in his play.
Quite still alive!
He closed it out with a 3-0 sweep to take his first offline major victory at only his second tournament. Securing the win and immediately walking off the stage, the legend was born.
Make it back onto the stage, even with a double jump and with an up B.
DK?
Across the UFA venue in the Smash Hall, over 570 players from all around the world were gathered to fight it out in Smash Ultimate. Despite having a wide variety of countries represented, we got an all-Japanese winners final. T, the well-known Pac-Man player, and Hikaru, the DK player. DK is a notably bad character, but we couldn't tell as fearsome as his play was, beating the likes of Gluttony, Bloom Forever, and playing a close game against T. As his first time in Europe, he gave us an incredible show, but the one that managed to make it back through the losers bracket and face T in grand finals was not Hikaru, it was the home defender Gluttony, much to the delight of the home crowd. Finally beating Bloom after 3 huge losses in a row and taking revenge over Hikaru, he managed to book his place in grand finals. After a remarkable first game, T decided to switch character, putting Pac-Man back into the pocket and picking up his Kazuya. Unfortunately for Gluttony, he let victory slip for the second time here at UFA, as he did against MK Leo in 2019. Adding the UFA 2022 trophy to his collection, T has now won 3 events in France.
T is your ultimate fighting arena 2022 champion!
If Paris was the centre of the FGC this weekend, it wasn't only thanks to UFA, as HF Land was taking place as well. In this historic European Melee tournament, there were a ton of points available on the Smash World Tour, as it was a gold event. After a 5-year-long win streak over Frenzy, it finally happened and Trife fell early into the losers bracket, but pulling out a fantastic losers run, winning the rematch and then overcoming Professor Pro twice in a row in grand finals. Trife is your HF LAN champion and picks up those all-important World Tour points. On the other side of the world, in the USA, California to be precise, another Melee Gold event was being held. While the name of the tournament is Saving Mr. Lombardi, that fell short in grand finals against Marth. Indeed, despite a great losers run, Fiction got double eliminated by Codarin, the killer of Mr. Falco Lombardi himself.
Saying you got that game off of me, but you're not getting a second one.
There was a 4th major Smash event happening this week at Auburn in Washington, and it was Port Priority 7, a Gold Ultimate Smash World Tour event and a Panda Cup qualifier. After a long losers run, 11 sets in a row to be precise, beating up Ken, Shuton and double eliminating Kurama in grand finals, Tweak is your Port Priority champion.
Tweak finding the F-tilt and taking the game.
Kurama though is making a name for himself after his incredible run at the Ludwig Smash Invitational. He sat down in grand finals after beating MVD, Anathema and Shuton. And more importantly, with that 2nd place finish, he also claims the spot for the Panda Cup.
He's still going! Oh, that's gonna be it!
There it is!
Fighter Spirit is a multi-game event that took place in Seoul, South Korea this weekend, and plenty of games are on the lineup. But as the last stop of the Arc Revo World Tour, the stakes were especially high in ArcSys games, as multiple international players in attendance were hunting for the final 8th spot in World Finals. Guilty Gear Strive had Ban, Jonathan Tenay, Apology Man, Super Noon, and more in attendance, and none of them ended up in the top 4. With Dark Necro often being referred to as possibly the best South Korean player, it was Moki who stopped his run in Grand Finals to claim the title and the final spot. And that leaves us with 2 Seoul players in World Finals joining Skill in the final 8. DNF Duel was also a tour qualifying event, and unfortunately home turf was not defended as Kikyo-chan's Hitman took the win over Navi in Grand Finals, joining fellow Hitman main Mystic in World Finals. Street Fighter V was also represented, and UIU's own NL took his home tournament with a dominant loot run, making up for some of the poor run of form that UIU are in currently in Street Fighter League.
Hello and welcome.
This week saw the Melty Blood type Lumina United States qualifier for the East region go down. And in a bracket that was infested with Roas and Vlos, it was Koma that came out victorious. Squad Vermilion managed to book their place in Grand Finals with this straightforward victory against Safe. And in Grand Finals, it looked like Squad was going to be unstoppable, pulling into a 2-0 lead until Safe managed to turn the momentum round. Winning 3 games back-to-back, Safe managed to reset the bracket and it went down to a tense reset. But Scraw proved unstoppable, and closing it out 3-1 books their place in the finals that are going to be going down at NEC in December later this year.
Crud is your East Coast Qualifier champion.
More 5th and final CPT World Warrior events took place this past week, and let's kick off with US Midwest as Super Saturday saw Mags defeat Ramsey in a dominant run, which pushes him all the way up to the top spot of the standings as we move towards their regional finals. In South Africa, Get Washed saw Billy D take the win back on the Nakali as he swept Ren in Grand Finals and also claims top spot on the leaderboard. In Oceania, Unger Down Under saw Somniacs put another win on the board for the Ed Nation as he closed out a convincing win versus Rumors Honda. Over in EU West, it was Salt Mine League, and with all 4 of the top ranked players on the leaderboard away competing at UFA, Snowboy took full advantage to cement his place in the regional finals by taking the win. And finally, in Mexico, Hagen took the Mexican MASH series this week with Lucia managing to stop Uriel's losers run in the Grand Finals. In fact, Hagen only dropped 1 game all tournament and finishes up top for the season in Mexico.
Okay, that's all we got time for this week on the Roundup. Thank you very much for joining us. Don't forget, get involved in the comments, give us a like, and subscribe on the YouTube if you want to see all the VODs from UFA this weekend, along with all the other stuff we're making. Follow and subscribe on that YouTube. We'll see you next week for more Roundup action, and don't forget, we'll be rounding up Street Fighter League as well this week. Till next time, we'll see you then, and support your locals.